All right, weekend sports betting tips on the Barroom Network. About to send that tweet out soon here. We got Mr. Sean Higgs. Anthony is out today. We are going to be talking Week 10 NFL, college football, Week 11. Let's get that tweet out.
Come on, get it out already.
And you can read. All right, here it goes. All right, tweet is out, and we're ready to roll here. Give us your questions. If Sean and I, if we go 2-0 today, if we sweep today, 2-0 actually, because Anthony's not here. One viewer retweets the show will receive a free weekend pass from all three of us. All right, let's get into some college. Any thoughts on last night's game, real quick? Ravens, Bengals. Hart, would you have gone for two at the end there for the Bengals? I'm kind of a guy I just tie it and get to overtime.
No, but
on the road, go for two.
No, you got. I say go for it. They can say no. You at home, you blew a lead versus these guys late, and they beat you.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
I saw both teams have no defense. So you blew a 20. You were up 21-7, and all of a sudden you're down in the game. So you go for two. They've already beat you one, so you have to at least split with them to win a division. There's no guarantee you get the ball. How'd that work out for Tampa Bay the other day?
Yeah.
Tampa Bay. Now we're going to kick a field goal. We're going to go for the extra point here. You know, it's all right. Mahomes at home, sure. Nothing. What could go wrong with Patrick Mahomes at home?
The greatest come from behind player of all time.
Okay, and I don't know. Has Lamar won an MVP? How's he at home? What's his home record? You're going to give that guy? Come on. Why people are just you go for two. Why wouldn't you go for two?
Yeah.
You know who's upset they didn't go for two? People who had the people who had Cincy money line. So what? So you lose by 3 or lose by 6? Go for two. Go for the win. I don't get it.
I had the over. I really like the over in this game because neither team plays a lot of defense. But halftime, it's 21 points only. So, heading towards an under. When you let's just hypothetically, as a professional handicapper or sports bettor, you're looking at being behind, on your total. Any strategies at halftime? Do you hedge? Do you take another number with a lower total?
No, I'm not a one.
You never buy back your games. I know that.
Short of like the Super Bowl or some game I'm sitting watching every second, I'm not in game and all. I mean, I'm gonna in game some game tonight. I got 70 basketball games tomorrow I got to worry about. I mean, I know. Listen, if you're just gonna in game stuff, so be it. Fine, NBA, football. You're watching that one game. You think you got a feel for it. All right, I'm more of. I mean, listen, I do my look at lines or talk about having BYU plus 17. Now they're -4. I mean, I don't mind going outside.
The summer number.
Yeah.
Summer number. You bet the game in the summer.
Yeah. So, but I'm just saying from the fact of I'm still a side total early better, whether, the night before, a week before, 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
To jump in game, I always say this. I don't think the average person is disciplined enough. There's people who win, but I say all the time, let's add them up, see how you do. Are you pulling money out of your account? I'm guessing no. Because I like this game, you're automatically doubling up or tripling up on a game. It's already in your brain, you kind of like something like, oh man, I got the over in this game. So I had the over last night. It was 21-7. I'm like, I could still get there. I'm not. I saw the halftime score. I was like, all right, whatever.
And man, it got there. It sure got there
pretty fast. Bad defense. You got 80-yard passes, 70-yard passes. They're just ridiculous nonsense. And then what? Then you think it's wow, this is playing right to and under. And then that happens, and then now you got two losers on your hands. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Remember, you're always
well,
value-wise, it's never a good number. You're always behind. You're thinking, look at this, it's plus 116. I'm like, they're ahead of you. Remember that.
I don't know. I don't remember what the number was. I don't know what the number was before. 2 was the total last night. Wasn't it?
I think it went up to like 52. Which is a high number.
Game time.
51.5. I mean, I had 48.5 and 49 that was from Sunday. It was at 48.5, 49.5. So that was just in 3 days it went up.
Yeah.
But again,
grabbing it on Sunday when it's 48.5, 49.5. Yep. Right.
And that's
why people listen to your show, because
yes, you have. And again, I say if you have a set of numbers, right, which I tell all the time, you have to forget about even having numbers. You have to have just a guess what you think the line will be. Forget about having power rating. You say, okay, X is playing Y. I think it should be like 6.5. So when it's 4, you're thinking, wow, I like this game. Whether you bet or not, that's up to you on a Sunday or Monday. But at least mark it down so the next week the lines come and say, well, you know what, I was right. If I would have bet these numbers, I would have went 3-0 instead I went 1-2. The number changes. I know people say, oh, who cares about the number? It matters who covers. Hey, listen, I disagree with that. I disagree.
Yep. Well, I had a nice little 4-leg plus 1330 parlay with 2 anytime touchdowns. Last night was the night for anytime touchdowns.
Oh yeah.
And then I had Jamar Chase over receiving yards. I think it was 79.5.
Yeah, ridiculous. He had that on one catch.
Derrick Henry anytime touchdown and Mark Andrews anytime touchdown. And then I had Joe Burrow over passing yards. So,
but see, for those things, when you get Henry for anytime,
it was just lucky.
You got it.
Yeah.
You listen. That has to be in a parlay because you're laying minus 300 from this one, right? Well, I mean, what was it?
But minus 225, I think it was, or 265.
Like again, for that. If I see that, I'm automatically going for 2 touchdowns. I'm not going to lay that. Because I'd rather just lose straight up at plus 245 than put in a parlay. Yeah, it hit.
So my night wasn't too bad last night.
If you go 4-1, you lose. You think I can't go 4-1 and lose.
I try to keep it real simple with those parlays on a Thursday night or Sunday night, whatever it is, one game parlay where I'm just hitting a simple parlay. But that one was, with 2 touchdowns, I thought last night with the total being high, I thought it'd be a lot of fireworks. Yep.
And there was all the guys who were supposed to be involved. Lamar scores a touchdown. Yep. Chase scores a touchdown. Guys who you think are going to score. 3 touchdowns. Chase had 3 touchdowns at 250 yards.
264 yards receiving.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's great. I haven't seen that since Terrell Owens put up 275 yards on the Bears. Time.
I mean, seriously, but again, you get these big yardage plays.
Yeah. All right. We got a few games tonight. We'll talk about one. My Hawkeyes are out in UCLA. You like the Bruins. I like the resurgent Hawkeyes, Sean, since Brandon Sullivan has taken over for Cade McNamara, who's out tonight. They have been 40 plus points the last 2 games. Wisconsin, a pretty good team as defensively and offensively. They beat them handily 42-10 in Iowa. UCLA, of course, had a couple games right now, 1-2, a little closer games, but before that they had lost five in a row. So whether or not they're on the right track again here, we'll find out tonight. But Iowa's 8-1 to the over. Man, last year and the year before, I was playing unders like every week, auto bet.
Well, even to start the year, right? even to start the year, it was like, oh, you got to take. I mean, I had Iowa. We were talking off here. I got the Iowa over 7.5 wins. I'm like, they're favored in
Yep.
8, 9. They're favored in all their games except for the Ohio State game this year. So why wouldn't they go over? And they start the year with a loss, you know?
Yeah.
But look at it. I mean, 38-31. Ohio State, all right, they get crushed by Ohio State. No big deal. 40 against Washington, 40 Northwestern, 42 Wisconsin. They laid the egg in Michigan State, which is – I don't know what happened there. You probably know more why they laid an egg there.
Just a bad game after that. McNamara got injured, and now the past 2 games they've had Sullivan at quarterback, and Sullivan's been doing some damage with his legs. That's really why they haven't been able to. Teams haven't been able to account for the run game from the quarterback.
So to start the year, I remember because I said like take Hawaii early. It was like 17 and went down to 13 against UCLA here. And a lot of that, I think it moved like 2 points after Deshaun Foster came out for like media day. He said some nonsense. You saw that performance like, wow, these guys are bad. Indiana trucked them, and you're thinking, wow, they're really bad. No one knew how good Indiana was, though. Let's be honest. We didn't think Indiana was going to be a top 10 team. So that's not that bad a loss. Then you lose at LSU. That's not terrible. LSU's a pretty good team. You lose to Oregon. Yeah. Who's upset? Oregon's the best team in the country right now. Number 1, right?
Number one overall. Yep.
Is that a bad loss when you're losing to them? And then you follow that up again at Penn State.
Yep. They had
again. I'm not worried. I mean, Minnesota, Minnesota's a tough squad. What the real key was though, they go on the road, win at Rutgers. Like you think that 5 straight losses.
2 wins on the road.
Good teams though, losing good teams, but they still came out and fought against Rutgers and won. Then they come out of their bye week and beat Nebraska, who I sort of like Nebraska. I don't know. I'm a little down on Matt Rule now. What's going on over there? So there's no quit in the team.
Yep.
No quit. Their loss. I mean, 3 of their losses are to team. They got 5 losses. 3 of them to teams in the top 10, and LSU's ranked. I mean, all their losses are guys in the top 15.
Yeah.
They got 2 losses to 2 top 5 teams.
Garbers hasn't played bad at quarterback.
I mean, what is
defense has been okay? Garbers hasn't played quite well.
You lost to the number 1 team, the number 4 team. I don't know where Indiana's ranked number 8. Where's LSU in the top 15? I mean, this is.
I know you got UCLA plus 7.5, right?
Plus 7.
And I have Iowa minus 6 plus 7. I have Iowa minus 6.5. So it's possible,
get a little push action.
What do you think of the total? Actually, that's what I wanted to ask.
I like the over.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be points here.
Yeah, so do I. 44.5 right
scoring.
Now.
Iowa's been scoring, and UCLA can be bad and give up points like they have to better teams. If Iowa, again, they're not on par with Oregon, these kind of guys, but if the offense is what it is, they're going to get into the high 20s or 30s, right? I mean, why wouldn't the way they've been playing, why can't they score 26 or 27 here? So what, 27, 23, 20, it should go over. Definitely over. I like the over. Where's Iowa playing a low-scoring game? Where's their low-scoring game this year? 2019 versus Iowa State, which is always a rock fight anyway.
That's the only. Yep. Florida at Texas real quick. I know it's a big spread. My only thought is does Florida cover this number in Austin? It's come down 1 point.
Dude, I don't think so, Tooch. Listen, last week, Florida ran out with a 3rd-string walk-on and somehow battled Georgia.
Yeah.
In their big rivalry.
Classic letdown spot now at Texas.
I mean, you lost by 11, but you're still 4. Like, who saw that coming with that team? I mean, Texas, I think Texas could drop like 60 here. Texas needs a statement.
Total 47.5. Man, got to take a look at a Texas team total over maybe, huh? Here.
What's the team total, like 50?
It's 21. At times it's got to be it's got to be an implied total of 34 to 13. Yeah, 34-13 implied total here. So Texas get to 34-35. It's probably 34.5.
I'm going to say, I think they should get to 40 here. I mean, you're off a bye week. Have a good game. I mean, you got
Sarkisian,
Arkansas. I mean, it's
he's
not
been
like
known to
A&M's
run
up
up the
next.
score a little bit, right?
You got Arkansas, and then you got Kentucky. You're not going to. I mean, I know they want to probably put on a show for the home team in their last home game, but after that's A&M, so they're not going to be really looking to pump up the fans. This could be a game where they're like, you know what, let's put a bunch of points on the board for everybody.
Longhorns team total 34.5. Like I said, so Florida Gators team total 12.5. Over on the Texas team total. All right, Kirby Smart and Lane. What's his name? Lane Kiffin. Is that his name?
Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin, you got it. Listen, you're gonna give me a field goal here with Ole Miss. We just talked about Georgia. I mean, it could be lackluster, whatever the case may be. It was a walk-on. They played like trash. Carson Beck, and I thought Georgia in August, I was like, sign me up for a 3-peat with these guys. Like, I thought they were not 3-peat, but you know what I mean. Like, get me back to the national championship with this group. I got a good coach, always a decent defense, and I got a quarterback who's proven. Guy's got 11 interceptions his last 3 games or something like that. 8 interceptions the last 3 games. Yep. You know what I just saw Ole Miss do on the road? And listen, they lose, they're out of the playoffs. I mean, I saw Jackson Dart throw 6 touchdowns on the road last week. 6 touchdowns on the road. No, they weren't. It wasn't a flat spot for them with Georgia on deck in a must-win game. No, they went out and put 60 on the team. I think Ole Miss is like number 1 in yards per game, yards per catch. Like they're up there offensively. Now, do they have the schedule that Georgia has? Have they played the Alabamas and stuff like that? No, but I don't know. I'm not comfortable with Georgia as a fave here.
So they went on the road, hung 63 on the Razorbacks last week, right?
Yeah, I mean, who's playing good?
6-3. They're 6-3 against the spread this year.
Yeah,
Georgia 2-6 against the spread.
He threw 3 interceptions versus Texas, and he still won 30-15. So it's kind of like misleading. How again 3 interceptions last week, 2 against Mississippi State, and they won by 10. 31-13 over Auburn. That's kind of like a ho-hum kind of win there. Lost to Alabama. They got trucked early. The Kentucky game was 13-12. I mean, you beat Clemson to start the year.
31 points to Mississippi State, for Christ's sakes.
I mean,
where was the defense there? Mississippi State, not exactly.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a vintage Georgia team by any stretch. I mean, you could say things about
a little up and down, but they've won.
Yeah,
I mean, what? They've won 4 in a row, but the loss at Alabama kind of set them reeling a little bit. As far as it hasn't been as good since they lost to Alabama. But.
Like Kiffin can he win a big game? I mean, you lost by 3 to Kentucky. You lost by 3 to LSU. Like just bad kind of spots. Yeah. Like, can you redeem your season and beat Georgia and get to the playoffs? I mean, I took them, so I'm on Ole Miss.
Ole Miss plus. Any thoughts on the total 55 points? I think the over. I mean, Ole Miss plays at a fast pace.
I'd think over, but
what do you think?
Would I be shocked if this turns into a 23-20 kind of game? You know?
Yeah.
Georgia, I mean.
Yep.
Let's be honest. Texas game was 30-15. Can I see something like that? Something like 24-20? I mean.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to do with the total.
Nothing on the total. All right. Coach Prime at Texas Tech. Hey, both these teams, Texas Tech had a big win last week, right? At ISU, right here in Jack Trice Stadium, about 35 minutes from my house. And then Colorado, man, they're on a bit of a run here. They've won 5 of their last 6. The only loss was at home to Kansas State. Played Cincinnati at home, went to Arizona and won on the road 34-7. Hung 48 points on Central Florida.
Don't get me started.
Texas Tech, though, I mean, they're 6-3, and Coach Prime is 6-2. What do you think here?
Under Colorado, 5.5 plus 145, up in smoke. You know, I blame that Baylor game hurt because they lose that game. And you know what? Maybe they don't go and win as a two touchdown underdog versus Central Florida. Maybe that's not a big win for them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
But that's little things like that switches the things around. Iowa State, big win for them, right? They last second win for Texas Tech last game.
Yep.
You're home. I want to lean to the dog here, but honestly, how about just an over with these two teams? I can see, I would probably do over first, and then just out of spite, probably Texas Tech. 3.5.
Teams
You're
capable of putting points on 62.5. A lot of points, though.
Yeah, but Colorado could get sloppy. Colorado plays sloppy. They got one. Who's the impressive win?
I mean, look,
who's the impressive win?
As far as airing it out, man, Texas Tech, they love to throw the ball, man. You get some explosive plays in this one. They're, pretty soon you're looking at a 35-32 game, right?
Yes, exactly.
And we're right over the total.
Exactly.
All right, so looking at the over here. All right, really good game coming up here. You got the Crimson Tide at the Tigers down in the swamp. What is it? Death Valley.
Yeah.
In Death Valley. The only teams to lose in Death Valley, Alabama coaches to lose at Death Valley has been before Bear Bryant. So and Matt Shula, I think, lost there. Or is his name? Don. What's the kid's name?
Mike Shula.
Mike Shula and the coach before Bear Bryant, the only two coaches. So Kalen DeBoer, a little bit of pressure going in to play Chip Kelly in Death Valley. But Jalen Milroe, he's been playing all right this season. Really, for the kid surprised me. I wasn't that high on him last year, but Milroe's played pretty good. Do you lay in 2.5 on the road?
I mean, here's the thing. This is another one. Who's out of the playoffs here? Third loss for both of these guys. And listen, DeBoer, anybody stepping in after Saban was going to have a hard time.
Yep.
Like, even if they lose here,
the loss at Vanderbilt hurts.
You're going to go 10-3, and it's a bad year. I'm just saying 10-3. I don't know if they lose somewhere. I'm just saying from the standpoint, that's considered bad. Like, this is a team that's Final Four or nothing. You're going to come in after this guy? I feel bad for him, right? And I'm not a lover of Brian Kelly either. I'm not a big Kelly guy. But I got to lean with the dog here. I mean, LSU can get after the quarterback, but they can't stop the run, and Milroe's going to run the ball all over the place. He'll take off.
Yep.
But, again, you're going to give me points. Why wouldn't I take LSU here as a home dog here? I mean, it's a tough spot to play. Come on, LSU at home. I'm looking over their things. They don't lose here.
Yep.
But on the flip of that, can we see, because Ben with a clear edge at quarterback, are we gonna be shocked? Are we gonna be shocked if this game is like 34-22 or something? Like they win by 10 going away and it's not even close. Like that won't shock me either.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna take LSU. I got them at a 3 spot. I'll take the field goal and see what happens. I know it's come down a tick, but we need help on the offensive line.
It was a time, maybe.
We'll talk about the Bears in a second. Skulls, don't go anywhere. I'm gonna bash your Bears like I always do here.
I love the Patriots this week. To tell you the truth, the Holy War, BYU -3 at Utah. No Cam Rising. For the Utes. And Retzlaff has played pretty good for BYU, man. 8-0 for the Cougars this year.
I'm leaning with BYU.
I gotta lean with BYU too.
Listen, Utah, there should be an investigation into Utah, like Cam Rising. I mean, I had this team over 9.5. I'm like, yes, we got a Big 12 future, a nice win total. I'll see you in the playoffs with a bye week. I got a good head coach. And this is what I get this year out of this terrible mess.
4-4.
We talked off air. This line was 17. Utah was a 17-point favorite in August here, folks. In September, you could have this line like three weeks ago at 17. BYU's 20-point swing. I'm taking BYU.
Your subscribers were told bet BYU plus 17 in August, right?
Yeah, they have. So BYU plus 17.
Yep. Not bad. I would love to be sitting on that ticket. All right. Yeah, I'm on BYU also. I think they keep
They're
continuing.
not huge numbers, though. You can't, it's not like you're betting tens of thousands of dollars on these early
Yeah.
numbers, a couple $100. But listen,
Yep. Total
good
seems
spot to
low.
be
I know
in.
it's a rivalry and stuff, but
Yeah, but Utah's terrible.
I just don't think the offense, Utah's offense, not what you want it to be.
Exactly.
And they don't really have any signature wins, man. They put up 14 points at Houston. At TCU, they put up 7 points. I know that's why the total's so low here, but
Yeah, they have no offense.
Yeah, no offense. So
I mean, BYU.
Listen, BYU or nothing.
We can go back to early in the season. You're like, oh man, SMU today. I'm like, no, let's take BYU in double digits here. Like SMU shouldn't be laying 10 points. That was the lowest game. So if it's, I don't want to say SMU and Utah have the same kind of defense, but Utah still has a little bit of a defense. So I'm not expecting like 35, 40 points out of BYU, but BYU should cover this number.
Yep.
Whether it's
a 7-1 against the spread, the Cougars.
It could be like 20-16 or 23-14. It's going to be like one of those things. I think I'd rather, honestly, it's just BYU. Why don't they 160 on them? They wanted me 160 on them online. That's baseball, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I like BYU.
Yep, me too. Again, look, BYU. The one time I bet them against the spread, they lost. They beat Oklahoma State at home, but Oklahoma State went in there and played a pretty tough 38-35 win. I don't know what happened. I mean, Ollie Gordon ran all over them. That was just an anomaly, but it's the only game they didn't cover the spread against.
But he's good at running back too.
Oh yeah. Yep, very good ball player. Going to be a good pro. Let's head over to the NFL a little bit here. Mike Tomlin off a bye. At the Commanders. The Commanders, man, they are 7-1-1 against the spread. Pittsburgh 6-2. So something's got to give here, Sean.
I was with Victor King today doing a show. He hit me with a 45-13 underrun for the Steelers.
Wow.
So listen, and I think Tomlin versus rookie quarterbacks is really well. We saw what he did against Denver and Bo Nix.
Yep,
it's an under game. It's an under game for me here. Although I do like the Commanders. It's down.
Yeah.
It was 3, and from what I know, I got
it's back up to 3 actually. So
it's I know 2 groups that have been battling on the 2.5 and 3 since the beginning of the week on this game. So there's sharp money on both sides.
This
so
totals up to the total's up to 44.5. I guess. I don't know. What do you have for a total?
Hold on a second.
The MGM's got it at 44.5.
Yeah, I see 45 now. I mean, it's still like the under. I don't care what the total. I mean,
so that's a big.
Are we thinking that
45 at
the offense just keeps on churning out for the Washington? Listen, I know they've punted like 17 times or something ridiculous like this.
Yeah, there was a 3-game stretch.
This opened at 44.5, Tooch. So I think maybe just figured it wrong. So it was 44.5.
I mistyped it. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. 44.5. All right.
I'd still lean to the under anyway.
Yeah. Under here. And then I like Tomlin as a dog, man. Coming off a bye.
Why wouldn't you?
Yep.
They always bring their defense against whoever. So you got to scout when your team plays defense.
That's why it's a long trip either, man.
They're an under team on the road because they always have a defense. The offense is kind of questionable. You got a rookie in here. Again, we saw this team 2 weeks ago against your Bears.
Yep.
They had 5 field goals before a Hail Mary pass.
Yeah.
Right? We saw them against the Giants. 6 field goals versus the Giants. Couldn't score in the red zone.
Yep.
So taking 3 versus a team that I've watched them kick 11 field goals inside the 20, again, under as well, too.
Yep, take the under. All right, 49ers making the trip, coming off their bye, too. Making a trip cross-country, laying 6.5 at the Bucs. The Bucs are banged up on defense. They're banged up on offense. And they really played well, man, against the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Yeah, until the end, when Mahomes, overtime, Mahomes came down and won the game. But The Buccaneers, man, it's a deflating loss, short week. It's a classic letdown spot. Give me the Niners -6.5.
Yeah, only way to go, Niners. Bye week, super, getting healthy. They had a lot of guys banged up.
Getting Christian McCaffrey back.
Yeah, I mean, but who? Like let's see how he even is. I don't know. Just because he's back doesn't mean he's going to be good.
Yep.
But
it's a rallying point for the team, I guess.
Short week, still missing receivers.
Yep.
Overtime, and then it was a tough overtime loss. Forget it's not like they just lost 30-13. It was like they're not in there. Like, hey, let's just get home. We got San Fran next week. Let's beat a team in conference and get ready for that game. No, they got up, they got down, they battled back, they got down, they scored late, they forced overtime, and then, I mean, the body language, Baker, like they pulled heads. They're like, he's like, oh my goodness, it's game over. You wonder why Cincinnati went for 2. That is exactly why you do that. You don't give a MVP the ball to come down the field in. But again, with this one, I got to lean Niners. I don't like the 6.5. You know me. I want that. Like it's so, they're going by a touchdown. And they should. They should come out and beat Bucks. You've scored some nice wins, but you're still missing some receivers. I don't know. It's Niners or nothing.
Buy a half point for the push potential?
No, because I don't think it'll be a push potential. If the Niners are going to cover 6.5, 7, it's because they're going to win this game 28-13 or something. It's going to be it'll be a 10-point win. It's not close. Like a backdoor doesn't even get me into it because they're down by 20 or 17 or something.
I know some guys like to buy the half point just in case. But Patriots at Bears. We're talking here. This might be 6.5 now. I don't know. I did this morning, but no, it's 6 still. Look, the Bears are so banged up on offense, on defense. Their offensive line is terrible.
I told you on Sunday night to take the Patriots +7.
Yep.
I said take the 7. Listen,
I'll take the points with the Patriots.
Yep. I know the Bear Barroom is going to be like, you got to take the Bears. The Patriots are crap. Folks, I've been telling you this the entire season. You got a rookie quarterback and a crap head coach.
Yep, and a bad offensive line.
Forget about the way he went down in Washington.
Yep.
7 seconds left in the half against Arizona. You let them bust off a 50-something yard run.
Yep.
Inexcusable. Yep. I think the locker room is gone.
Yep.
Who cares about Caleb Williams? And he's going to be more. He looks really. I don't care. It comes down to coaching. He doesn't have one. The team's banged up. The offensive line problems. Patriots, talk about a team with house money. Nobody expects them to win more than 2 games anyway. That's a dangerous team to me because
they got nothing to lose.
You don't think those guys are like wanting something to prove to they go out and get a contract with another team or just prove they could stay with this team or this is their only chance because we're on 100%. A bad team? Get out of here.
Give me 6. This game feels like a field goal. Win for either side. Yep.
I saw the Patriots win in Cincinnati. Why can't they win in Chicago?
It's a low total. I mean, I still like the under in this one. Both teams. The Patriots defense is underrated, I think. The Bears defense, while banged up, is still a pretty good unit. Both teams' offenses are terrible. Yeah, under 39. Patriots +6. All right.
You better hope it goes under.
This game is interesting to me.
If the Bears are going to win, it better stay under because if New England's scoring, they're in trouble.
Yep. Yeah, if New England is scoring, we're in trouble. 100%. Bills and Colts. The Colts, I know it's a team that you like. You actually like them to win that division. And they have played a lot of close games until they went into Minnesota last week, lost by 8. But before that, they were playing close games pretty much all season. A lot of 3-point games for the Colts. Do they keep it close? I know that line's only 4-point spread here.
I think the Colts win this game. I think the Colts win. Why? 4. I think everybody who's going to be betting this game watched the Colts play and couldn't do absolutely anything for 3.5 quarters.
Yeah,
their only points were a defensive touchdown. Flacco looked.
I agree,
horrible.
and then
yet it's a 4. It's a 4. It's not a 5.5, or it's 4. Okay, yeah, sure. Josh Allen MVP laying a 4 spot here. This is Colts. This is where Flacco has a game where he throws for like 340 yards and 3 touchdown passes. It's Colts +4. Colts outright. You frozen, Tooch? I think Tooch is frozen, and I can't control the banners. So we'll give it a few seconds here, see what happens. I can't control the banners here, Tooch. So I don't know what we're going to do. You better log in and come back. Let's get the texts out. Oh, everybody watching. Anybody in? Let me go to the YouTube here. Is anybody in the YouTube chat? Look, I'm all by myself. We're going to talk. I guess we still stay on the Colts talk here. We'll stay with the Colts, everybody here in Barroom territory. Now, I can't switch off on any of the banners. So if you're watching, my apologies, because you're like, why is Higgs on here? This guy just comes in here and bashes my Bears. They're supposed to be a playoff team. He says they're going to win 5, 6, 7 games. Yes, they are going to do that. This game here, until Tooch comes back, I do like the Colts +4. It's just one of those lines that kind of sticks out to me where it's like, hey, how easy to just take the Bills, right? Colts are bad. Look at Joe Flacco. It's terrible. We'll take the Colts here. I don't know about the total, though. I mean, me liking the Colts would obviously think they're going to score and we're going to put points up on the board. So, yeah, I guess we'd be leaning towards the over. But 47 is a big number. Big number. Again, I'm guessing that off a horrendous game, we show up at home and put on a little show and get some points on the board and cover this number. But that does not mean it's going to happen, just because somebody's due or you think and hoping. We say we hope in one hand, poop in the other. What fills up first? Get out that lemony spray for your hands. Colts +4. I wish I could change the banners here, because what else am I going to talk about? Everybody's going to come in to see the Colts game. But I got dual screen here, so he's doing Colts. He was probably going to bring up Denver and Kansas City game, right? So Kansas City here, 7.5. This was a 9.5. It's come down. Do I want to tell you my Denver life here? How I've had Denver this season, and I was a Denver backer to start the year, right? Had him against Seattle, loser. Had him at home against Pitt, loser. Wow, rookie quarterback on the road. You haven't looked good. Let me take Tampa Bay here at home, loser. All right, you won on the road. You're a big underdog at Tampa Bay. Let me take the Jets here at home to beat up the rookie quarterback, loser. That's 4 straight losses. Okay. You've just won 2 in a row as a dog on the road. You're coming home. You're a favorite. That system doesn't work out. Let's take the Raiders, loser, 0-5. Then I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this squad. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. I'm going to come back with the Chargers at home. Denver versus – I took Denver at home +3 against the Chargers because they had beaten the Chargers the last couple of games. Who did the Chargers beat? The Raiders, Carolina? They weren't beating anybody. No, Denver, 0-6. 0-6, this giant dummy here. Look at me. Yes, 0-6 taking them. Against New Orleans, I said, no, I'm done with you guys. No, thank you. Carolina, I believe I had the under in that game. And in Baltimore, I took them last week like a dum-dum getting the points. Loser. 1-7 taking Denver. So here I am again. I missed the 9.5 number. Tooch is trying to get in the show. He's still frozen. I wish I did. I wish I took the 9.5 because now it's 7.5. And like we talked about the Tampa side of it, short week, overtime. Kansas City, let's be honest, they kind of play down the teams. They don't cover numbers at home. It's a division rival to boot. Why wouldn't I take Denver here? Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I take him? There he is. He's back. He's not back. I told Tooch to try StreamYard on his phone because he's not coming in. So again, in this spot here, I'll be looking at Denver again. Again, just from the standpoint of overtime, short week, rival, and they still have a defense, Denver. And Kansas City offense, where has the crisp, we're going to come out and have a great game? Where has it been all season? Where is it? I haven't seen it. I haven't seen a great game. Where is it? And you look at the matchup there. So 41-10 looks bad, but it's 17-10, and then there's a 50-yard bomb before halftime. That hurts. And of course, you come out, boom, boom, a couple touchdowns in fourth quarter of the game or third quarter, and that's all she wrote there. But you get a turnover. It is what it is. Game got away from you. What can you do there? In this spot here, though, I'm going to lean towards the Broncos and the points. 41. I
don't know.
There he is.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know. I just covered the Denver game for you.
All right. Fucking Bills. Okay. Let's go. Bills, Colts. What do we like on that one?
I went through. I
like
said
the Colts +4, right? At home.
Yes.
They played a close game. The Bills versus the Dolphins.
You didn't hear anything I had about the Colts.
Underrated defense.
You must have been frozen a long time because I was talking while you were in your room about the Colts.
Yeah, I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't get reconnected. I never had this problem before. Let's go Eagles Cowboys here. I know Anthony likes the Eagles because me and him talked about it today. The Cowboys are a disaster. Dak Prescott out. It's going to be Cooper Rush. Man, I really thought the Cowboys were going to win this division this year, but just too many injuries all around, especially
we talked about this in August. I told you, no running backs, one wide receiver, two rookies on the offensive line, new coordinator on defense. This is not shocking that they're bad. Now, you got Trey Lance. I guess you use Cooper Rush because he actually did go to Minnesota and beat Cousins and a good Minnesota team. But you had a running back, you had an offensive line,
and a good offensive line. Yep.
This is not the case with Dallas now. This is not the case. Now, do I want to lay 7 with the Eagles? No.
Not really.
I would tease this down probably. I actually like the over. I think the Eagles put a 40 up. I think if AJ Brown plays in this game, I think Sirianni, he's on the hot seat himself. He's looking to prove you can go and beat up a rival like this. Yeah, I could see them doing like a 40-10 kind of thing. Not only that, that's like the good side of it where Eagles just get 40. But this is going to go over because the Cowboys are going to give up points. They'll get up. Eagles will get up into the 30s. Dallas will score some garbage stuff in the back to get to their 14 and go over. It's an over for me first here.
Yeah, I mean, at home versus the Jaguars, they couldn't cover. 7.5 versus the Jaguars.
The Eagles aren't a great team. People are enamored because they went to Super Bowl 2 years ago. It's a different team. It's gone. That's 2 years ago. The thing with Dallas is I don't know why. Do I think Trey Lance is good? No, I didn't know why the heck the Niners traded up for him. I mean, I had the Bears when the Niners played him in that first game. But he's supposed to be good. Teams thought he was good. Teams were looking to get him. Why didn't give him a shot?
Yeah.
What's it going to hurt?
See what you got.
No Lamb. You're going to put him out there with no running backs. He's just going to look terrible anyway. I mean,
Yep.
This team's going nowhere.
It's just the 7. The last week against the Jaguars, they couldn't cover 7. Couldn't cover a touchdown. All right, Jets Cardinals. Cardinals had really put a hurting on the Bears last week. The Bears were banged up. The Cardinals are. I don't know if they're a good team or not. They're in first place in that division. The Jets, I don't know if they're a good team either. I don't think they're very good. They have an okay.
That's why they're in last place in their division.
Rodgers is he's mortal Rodgers. Devontae Adams hasn't done much. Breece Hall, good player, hasn't really done what he's supposed to be doing with this team. I don't know. Give me the Cardinals at home.
I would lean that way. I do. And actually, Victor King said his numbers had the Cardinals as a 3-point fave in this spot. And I was like, 3, really, Victor? Like, because I look at it as it's kind of a toss-up because of the way Arizona plays. We're good against Buffalo. We lose to Washington, and Washington's off a Monday night win. But we put 40 up on the Rams. We go to San Fran and win. We lose 20-13 to Detroit. Like, it's just a weird kind of team. I just lean Jets because of extra rest off the bye week. The talent is still there. It hasn't done anything. Doesn't mean they win. But at a pick 'em like this, I don't know. I didn't play the game at all. When he told me he had him at 3, I'm like, wow, maybe I take Arizona because I'm getting 4 points of value in somebody's power ratings.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, I haven't played it. I got nothing really. This is
Yep.
I like teams with rest, especially as we get later into the season.
It's
right.
It's the smallest point spread on the board, which is why I threw it up there. Interesting game. Jets going across country. Cardinals. I mean, this is the win against the Bears is a perfect launching spot for them to roll off a victory here. So give me 1.5. This is my favorite game of the weekend. Texans and Lions. Texans haven't been the team that we expected them to be this year, Sean. They're sitting at 6-3. They're still in control of the division. Detroit has been very good, though, very efficient on offense. Played some good defense, even without probably their best defensive player. The Texans' defense has been okay. C.J. Stroud in a little bit of a sophomore slump this year. They get Nico Collins back, though. Who do you like in this one? I mean, you got a home dog here, but the Lions, man, they're one of the best teams in the NFL.
They are 40-15 the last 3 years, ATS, the Lions. 40-15.
Yeah.
Do you want to get in front of that with the Texans? Listen, they still got a banged up offensive line, banged up running back. Oh, Collins is back. Okay, the guy hasn't played in how many weeks?
Yeah.
And listen, the Texans were the trendy team, right? They're this year's Jaguars. Everybody thought these guys are going to be really good, and they are. They got some wins.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I know the Lions are off the rivalry game against the Packers, so you think, oh, it's a bad spot. I don't know, man. I haven't seen the Texans play really good all year. I see them play kind of close games. The fact that Goff, and people think Goff, he's so bad we had to trade him. The guy has 11 incomplete passes this year. Going back to last year, 28 touchdowns, 24 incompletions.
Yep.
No, I'm taking the Lions. I can't. And probably, you know what? How about an under too? Because I don't think the Texans score. I like the under last week. I could see again being an under game here. Wow. I can see this being like a 31-13 kind of game. I mean, 50 points is a lot. Give me the under.
Also the under. Yeah, the Texans have been a big under team. But I could see their defense is good. But look, they're 2-7 to the under.
Yeah.
The Lions are dead even at 4-4 over and under. I could see an under here, but man, for me, it's Lions or nothing.
I agree. Look at the games. 23-20 Buffalo. 29-27 against a team they play often, so they kind of know their thing. 24-20 Jacksonville. Again, not over. 41 versus New England somehow. 23-20, 24-22, 21-13. All, where's this great vaunted offense? Hasn't shown up yet. Now you're telling me it's going to show up against the Lions. Okay. I won't hold my breath on that. Right. Yeah, we're going to show up. We're going to show up on offense versus the Lions. I mean, Lions 24, 52, 31, 47, 42 their last 5 games. Talk about getting in a groove. Because they didn't look that good to start the year, right? Against Rams, could have lost to the Rams. You lose to Tampa Bay, 2013 against Arizona. And then, I had Seattle on Monday night, and I had a good number. I had 6. Yeah, 42-29. Wasn't even that close.
Yeah.
Rolled Dallas. You know, they were licking their chops for the Cowboys. You knew that was coming. We talked about that. That was just a circled game anyway.
Yeah.
Then
they go to Minnesota and win against the Vikings, who I think were undefeated at that time.
Yeah.
And then, they rolled Tennessee, and they didn't even do much, man. Goff threw 8 passes in that game, and they put up 52 points. Shit. Then they go to Green Bay, and they win there. Yeah.
Goff, 12 of 15, 3 touchdowns.
It's crazy, man. Name a team in the NFC better than the Lions.
I got a Goff 18-1 MVP. And if they win, I think I have a shot. I know, like, listen, Lamar's going to get votes. Allen's going to get votes.
Yeah.
If these guys are 15-2 or something along those lines, and he has, 30 incompletions on the year or some ridiculous nonsense? I mean, come on. I mean, he's going to throw 25 touchdowns, maybe have like 5 picks, decent, good winning season, winning team. See what happens.
If you look at the Lions' schedule, man, I don't know where they lose another game. I don't know, right?
No, he looks pretty good.
Yeah. Name a team that's better than the Lions this year, man. In the NFL, who?
I mean, you want to maybe put Buffalo into that thing where they look good on
Buffalo,
both sides of the ball. Yep. Like, you can't put Baltimore there because the defense is bad. I'm not putting the Eagles there. Mm-hmm. I'm not putting, I guess Kansas City because they're undefeated. But Mahomes' numbers he's got 10 touchdowns and 8 interceptions? Like, his numbers aren't great.
Yeah.
The defense.
Yep.
But I mean, that's the comparison because they're back-to-back Super Bowl champs and they're undefeated, not even playing good yet.
Yeah.
But for all in all, I mean, look at these numbers on this guy.
Yeah, now look at the Lions' schedule. No, we got to get out of it. Willis Towers coming up after this. The next games after Houston, Jacksonville, at Indianapolis could be a tough game. Then they got Chicago at home. They got Green Bay at home. They got Buffalo at home. They didn't even catch Buffalo on the road. So then they come to Chicago. Then the toughest game is probably at San Francisco, which is not by any. It's not a. It's a winnable game too. I think at San Francisco with these Lions, man. They could very well be 16-1.
At that point, they'll have 14 wins that you'll probably be looking at. I mean, if they lose, it's not a must-win.
Yeah, it's not a must-win. Yep.
And like their last games against Minnesota, I know it's not a must-win. Do you want to lose your last game at home in front of the fans?
Right, exactly. Yep.
I mean, they could go 16-1.
Yeah, Lions Chiefs looks like a pretty good bet for a Super Bowl matchup at this point. All right. What do you say we give away some free plays? I'll roll that little free play stinger. I forgot. Anthony did give me a free play today. Sean,
like the Eagles.
You broke it down. Yeah, he does like the Eagles.
Yes. I broke this game down. You were off air. I was talking about it. I figured.
Yep. And, I had the Broncos last week plus 10.
Yeah.
And they didn't come close versus
this team to me. Everybody's got like an enigma. These guys to me are 1-7 with them.
Yeah.
That's why I can't do it anymore. I'm going to buy a Bronco helmet just so I can break it.
Yeah, I forgot. The Broncos played, was it Baltimore last week or Buffalo? Yeah. Buffalo or Baltimore, right?
Baltimore beat them 41-10.
Yeah, 41-10, Baltimore last weekend. I had the Broncos plus 10,
I had them.
On my card. I thought they'd keep it close to Sean Payton, but, Bo Nix showing some cracks in the arm, which, it's a rookie quarterback.
A rare loss for me last week. 6-3 in my NFL last week.
That's good, man. 6. I'm doing well in that World Series of Handicap, and I'm in 6th place, up 40 units. Can you believe it? Yeah, I know.
Duke is up 77-43. By the way, I know you had Duke early.
Yep, I sure did. I like him to cover. My card is Duke first half. Was it minus 16.5 or 18.5? Did they cover the first half?
Let's see how they did. Hold on.
Knipple and Flag, man, those are two of the best players in NCAA basketball.
What was the first half number?
Is either 16.5 or 18.5? I can't remember.
They won by 3.
The first half?
No. 43-20.
43-20. Okay, so first half we cover. In my free play, I'm going to go with the Niners coming off the bye, Buccaneers off an emotional play, 6.5. I think they win by a touchdown, Sean.
I agree.
Yeah, Duke is just another level, man. It's like Auburn and Creighton is a good team this year too. I think Duke is, Kansas and North Carolina are playing tonight. That'll be a good game. I love college basketball, but at this point in the line, I'm not betting a ton here, Sean, because there's just not enough data, this early in the season. I know you got cards, you're 70 games tomorrow, right? You and I will both believe me, I'll be both breaking down games tomorrow morning at like 4 a.m. when I wake up and get some coffee going and stuff.
See, I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna throw some water on my face because the lights are killing me. I'm like, that's why I always rub my head. I'm like, oh, the freaking ring lights get to me. I got to start writing down all the lines for tomorrow.
Yep.
I'm 20-9 in college hoops, which is like 66% or something like that.
Yep.
I got Temple right now. They're up like 20, so that's a winner.
I like that game.
And then who else I got? I got Cornell, Central Florida, UMass, Moorhead, Riverside, Iona over, William Mary over, Western Carolina over. So we'll see how
the thing with the Duke game. Look, Duke is physical. They have two of the best players in the country with Knipple and Cooper Flagg, and Army. It's a whole different animal for Army to play.
Listen,
Army has one good player. That's it.
On air or off air, I cannot lay 35. I don't care who. I'm not or 30. I took Moorhead in 29.
When you're just a podcaster who does some handicapping, I take these stupid numbers, Sean. I don't know any better, but I'm hitting them. So
it happens.
All right,
my Iona over looks good. We're at like what do we got? 35, 40, 55, 63, and there's still 5 minutes to go in the first.
Formerly coached by Patino is in St. John's. And St. John's should have a really good team this year too.
They're supposed to be good, St. John's. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
Who knows? Who knows?
I had Gonzaga the other night against Baylor. That was one I loved. Minus 6.5 opening night. Baylor traveling to Spokane. Man, woo. That to me was a gift. All right.
37-19. Moorhead down by 17 early. 18
Moorhead,
points.
You have Moorhead, right? Plus the points.
Moorhead plus 29. We'll see what happens.
Okay, that's good. Well, who are they
We're
playing?
alive. That's all. We're alive.
They're playing who? I forgot.
Cincy.
Okay, Cincinnati. Yep. Okay, and
I got UCF against Fort Wayne. They're up 4 here, so I'm giving 10.
VCU is playing South Florida. I like VCU minus the points here. South Florida's like, they lost everybody there, but it's like a whole brand new team. They were good last year though. Their coach
just died, and you went against them.
Away. Yeah,
VCU? Wow.
I know. I went against him. I know. I'm a bad man. Yep, but VCU, man, should win their conference.
Hold on. First of all, VCU's playing Boston College, so you don't even know
Boston
who they're
College,
playing.
Right. Okay.
So
who's playing
South Florida?
No, I have whoever's against South Florida tonight. Or
Charleston.
Charleston. I got Charleston minus 4.5. Yep. And
Charleston's up 5.
Boston College is picked last in to be in their division.
In the ACC.
In the ACC. Give me
they're down 20.
Boston College?
55-35. 10 minutes.
I have VCU minus 10. Matt, you subscribe to my plays. So I sent you my card.
I get them. Listen,
I know.
I can't. Those things I just can't look at. I just can't.
I know.
I got a minus 10 today.
I study though, Sean. I do my research. I know who's where and stuff. I know. Honestly, I know some of the good players. And stuff. I
didn't even get a book this year. I didn't even go get a book. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna try, not just to like kind of rein in play wise, because then I kind of fall for teams like, oh man, I like this team, especially the mid majors. They got all their guys back. They got top 7 scorers, and I kind of fall in love. So I'm like, I'm just going off the numbers. I'm just numbering it up this year.
I got you.
Because I can do this time of year, November, December, I'm fine. The February gets me. End of January, I have rough time in conference play.
All right, we got Willis Towers. I'll catch you later, Sean. Best of luck. Thanks again. All right, bye.
You got it, buddy.